go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Lunch with the Finance Bunch. I'm Charline.
And I'm God's gift, Matthew. Good morning, everybody.
Matthew, we have a makeup artist extraordinaire. I'm looking so beautiful today.
Oh, yeah, the face is looking very beat today.
Ashley Boyle. She's not only a friend of mine, but she is actually a professional makeup artist. And she owns her own makeup studio. And she's the owner of the Classy Dame Makeup and Lash Parlor.
Fancy.
Fancy, Miss Boyle. I love it. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm great.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
That's good.
Yes.
You know what? The first thing I want to do is, since you're the first time on our show, we want to know a little bit about you. You know, we know you're a makeup artist and you do all types of beautiful makeup. But we were talking back in the green room where she was putting on my makeup. Yes, I'm very vain today. I had it professionally done. We were back there talking, and I asked you, how do you do makeup? Like, do you see people's face? How do you see a person's face? Like as a canvas, or because you do everyone's makeup differently. It's very unique.
Thank you. That's because everybody is unique. I basically see a person's face as a canvas. So it really is depending on, sometimes it's what they're wearing will be a bit of inspiration, but usually it's if they just let me do my thing and they say, I just want to look like me, but enhanced. It's like a mad scientist where all like the colors start coming and like
into your mind,
into my mind.
So does your brain already start like processing as soon as you see somebody's face, like exactly how you're going to start imagining it out?
Yeah, exactly.
That's dope.
That's amazing. Because I look in the mirror and I think about putting on makeup and I go, okay, a little bit of powder, a little bit of blush, some lipstick, and I'm out the door.
Oh my goodness. I could totally see how that could drive someone crazy though. Somebody trying to like micromanage you, trying to like, hooking up their face.
Right.
As far as like, as you're doing your thing, they're like, wait, can we switch colors or can we do this or can we do this? And you're like, I got it. I got this.
Just trust me.
Yeah. And that happens quite often. That happens a lot, actually. And then, you just have to say, okay, I hear what you're saying. And are you ready for me to do my thing? And then they're like, oh, that's right. You are the professional.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. So then you get to
came here
take
for a
charge.
reason.
yes. And always, I think maybe there has only been twice in my entire career where I've had a client say, I think it might just be a little too much, but I took exact directions from them.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but
And then you can then tone it down, right?
Yeah.
Now, Ashley, where are you originally from?
originally I'm from Fresno, California,
okay.
and I grew up in San Antonio, Texas.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Go Spurs.
Right?
Go Spurs, go.
Now, when did you move back to California and why?
I actually moved to California when I was in college.
Okay.
And I lived here. So right after high school, I lived here and went to San Francisco at the Academy of Art University, as well as the American Conservatory Theater. And then I left for a few years and lived in Boston, and then I came back in 2009, and I've been here since.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So you had a chance to like be in the South, West Coast, East Coast. You got a chance to do it all.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now, what made you decide makeup was going to be the way you took your career?
That's a really good question. So going to art school, I had intended on doing either fashion design, but really I wanted to be a stage actress. And theater is where, you know, you have to wear makeup
That's
and you
right.
have to
That's
learn how to
right.
do hair.
Absolutely.
So, you know, college, you're broke.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're
Shout
hungry.
out to all the starving students.
Right, exactly, Matt. So I got a job at a beauty counter, and I just kept getting more and more clients. And I said, you know what? I need to just kind of take a step back here, reevaluate what I'm doing with my life,
Right.
and find, like, am I passionate about this? And I found that I really, truly was passionate about makeup and the transformation.
Dope.
Yeah.
Now, Ashley's pretty modest, but she has a lot of clients. Like a lot of clients. So and high end clients at that too. And so how do you develop such a large array of clients over the time? Because there's a lot of makeup artists, let's face it, right?
Oh yeah. It's
So to
definitely
be
in high
successful, that takes talent within itself. So how did you build your business over the years?
Word of mouth.
Wow.
Word of mouth.
Wow.
So it's definitely like hugely like referral based.
It's hugely referral based. Absolutely. And it's when you. Okay, I'm gonna kind of get a little mystical on you guys, but like
That's okay.
Bring it on.
When you put out a certain energy, you then get that energy.
That's very true.
So I honestly, I just put out with a lot of the clients that I currently had, and I said, I'm looking for more clients that are just like you. I love you, I adore you. You have like the best energy. I love when you come in and you're just a ray of sunshine, and and they have referred their friends who are close to them, and
That's true.
That kind of thing.
That's true, because people that have like personalities usually hang out together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. And so like the no drama zone, right? So if you have friends who are like you and you're in alignment, of course, they're going to refer you to people who are more like them. So it just becomes this great, big, happy, positive party.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
And it comes with actually knowing people too. So like, the higher end clients that I don't really talk about out loud.
Right.
With
Yeah,
folks,
I understand that.
just because of their privacy. But those particular ones have come to me through friends of friends who, they're like, I don't really know her, but I know of her skill.
Right.
So I highly recommend her, go check her out or have her come to you, and which I'm happy to do. So
Right.
I go and I meet them, and sometimes they're a little standoffish, but usually we gel.
Nice.
Yeah. Because you have that easygoing personality. And I had someone tell me once, a makeup artist, that, a woman is very vulnerable when you are working on her face. That there has to be a level of,
Right.
you have to have that feeling of like, okay, camaraderie, like, okay, I'm in good hands. And even from the first time I met you, I knew it. I was so excited. I'm like, okay, I know this is going to be a good experience. So I literally, you made my face up, and I didn't see it till the end, because sometimes, when you're with someone and they're making your face up, you want to watch the whole process so that you're not shocked in a negative way when it was over. But for me, working with you, it was like this happy gift that I was going to get at the end of the session. So I didn't even want to see. I just wanted to wait.
And right after this show, you're going to show the world. You're going to be like,
Exactly. Didn't I tell you that? I was like, I'm all dressed up now. I need some place to go. And it's not even like the show is someplace to go, right? And I'm so glad that I get an opportunity to have you make up my face for the show. But, to have I need some place to go after this.
so it's like you're going out to lunch, you're going out to dinner,
Going out
you
to
might
dinner
go
and then-
grocery shopping.
Right. I
Anywhere
got to go
that it's
like 5
heavily
or 6
populated with
different
people,
places.
you're going to be
Right. Exactly. And then I'm leaving tonight to go out of town. So I'm keeping this face on. Tomorrow morning when I arrive,
Oh
Still
my
gonna be
goodness.
cute.
I'm still going to be cute. I'm still going to be cute.
I don't know. You're going to the South. It might melt off your face, or it's kind of hot.
That's true. It'll be 110 degrees. This won't look the same. Okay, get back to the show. Stop playing. Okay, so Ashley, how much influence do you think your education had on your pursuit of your craft now?
That's another really good question.
Because the parents
Right.
send you to school, they're like, look, we got to see something out of this.
Right. And honestly, I would say, I went to acting school.
Right.
I don't have a master's in business management.
Right.
So, or even like business finance. I don't have any of that.
Right.
I went to school for acting, and I think the takeaway from acting school is that I came out of my shell. It helped me really
Okay.
come out of my shell. So I'm no longer that necessarily shy
Okay.
kid that I once was.
So now, does that help you in your business, because you have to interact and talk to people, right?
For sure, because it's
Right.
like networking
So-
for
but-
sure, customer
Yeah.
service.
But I read a lot. So I whether it was listening to motivational speakers and, business coaches online, I read Forbes magazine, Business Insider, all these different, magazines. There's something out there. There's books out there to learn. And that's really where my education came from, was taking the initiative myself and being proactive about what I wanted to do as far as, taking my life in control.
I like that answer. I really do, because I think sometimes we think there's nothing wrong with a formal education. A formal education is great. But sometimes within that formal education, you veer off into another path where you have to educate yourself in that area too, right? And so when you're starting a business, to be inclusive of some type of business education only makes sense.
I can't recall, that makes me think of, I can't recall who said it, but it's in the book Tools of Titans, which I recommend.
Yes.
And he said, education that leads to knowledge.
Yes.
It's one thing when education only leads to knowledge. It's another thing when knowledge leads you to action.
Right.
So
That's true.
you don't know what you don't know unless you actually just dive right in and take the plunge. And that's
right.
what I had to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could read a million books and I could listen to a million motivational speakers and business coaches and whatnot, but you don't get it until you actually do
Dive
it.
in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's a tip for today. Dive in.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should make that the hashtag. Hashtag
Hashtag
dive in. Whatever
dive
you're
in.
doing, just dive in.
Dive in. Yeah, that's going to be one of our hashtags. Dive
for
in.
sure.
I like it. Now, you're passionate about skin and makeup. And, you're an esthetician too. So that's another place where I feel safe with you, because I know that you're not going to do something that could harm me, because I watch some of these videos and I see some of the things that are done, and I'm amazed at the things that happen, and the chemicals and the things that people put on their face, even though it's temporary, right? And it's still on your face, going into your bloodstream.
Especially since your skin is your biggest organ.
Thank you
Right.
for saying that.
Woo, I got a little bit of knowledge, y'all.
As he sits up taller, he's like, wait a minute, I'm in this conversation.
I got it right.
So I guess my question is, does being an esthetician help you with, because you have to care for someone's skin too, right?
Absolutely.
It's a part of your business.
Yes, absolutely. When so my career started at 19.
Wow.
And when I worked at the beauty counter, there was a woman there who was an esthetician, and she just blew my mind with all of her knowledge. And I said, I need to do what she's doing. I need to get that education, because I thought about it and I really sat with that information, knowing that, she has this training in this field, and she's also doing makeup. And I was like, I need to protect myself.
Right.
So, I mean, not only am I protecting myself from, a client that might want to do harm to me or my business or my career, but I wanted to take the initiative to protect my client from any of the harm that could be done to them. Right. So it's better knowledge is everything, and it's better to just educate yourself and get certified. I mean, not everybody is certified as a makeup artist.
Right.
Not everybody is certified as a lash artist either.
Right.
But I in the state of California, it's a requirement.
Okay.
Thank God.
Absolutely.
So but I'm glad that I did it, and I highly recommend anybody who's out there to get certified and become a licensed esthetician or a licensed cosmetologist. But really, when you're dealing with the face, it's more extensive training as an esthetician.
Right, because your face, like Matthew said, is your largest organ. Well, your skin is your largest organ, and your face, when you're putting things on your face, that's the first thing people see. So you need to be really careful
Absolutely.
with what
Especially
you
'cause I
allow
feel like a
people
lot of
to
people have
put on
sensitive
your
skin.
face. Exactly.
Yep.
So when we come back, I want to talk more about your business and the makeup and the cosmetology part of it. But I also want to know how you got the name of your business. So we'll be right back. This is Charline on Lunch with the Finance Bunch, and we're on Dash Talk Radio, and we'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
And we're back. This is Charline, Lunch with the Finance Bunch.
And this is God's Gift Matthew.
On Dash Talk Radio.
Dash Talk Radio.
Yeah, and we have Ashley Boyle in the studio with us today.
Yes,
and
indeed.
she did my makeup, and I look pretty.
Sure do.
So, when we went away, we were talking about your business, and I wanted to know, how did you choose the name for your salon?
I love that question. So I feel like through the years, it's just kind of been like this name or this word that has followed me. But I remember a few years back when I first started my other business with Arbonne, which I'm sure we'll get to later.
Shout out to Arbonne.
Shout out to Arbonne.
So she goes, "You're such a class act."
Okay.
And then I was like, wow, I'm a class act, Pop to my
Take that to
suspenders.
the bank.
Right.
And then my boyfriend always calls me classy.
Okay.
He's like, you're so classy. So just one day I was thinking of names and I was like, I think it's going to be the classy dame. Like, that's perfect.
Yeah,
like,
that is
I
perfect.
want to attract women who just are sophisticated and love themselves and want to come to a sophisticated environment that makes them feel, lush and happy and taken care of. And so I decided to call it the Classy Dame Makeup and Lash Parlor.
Wow, I like that. Because it gives you that air of class. You feel like when you go there, you're going to make an appointment and you're going to see a classy dame.
Or you're going to be a classy.
Right, and she's going to transform you into a classy
I'm not even
dame.
a woman, and I'm like, Ashley, take my money now.
Okay.
What you need, what you want.
And we'll be back.
Now, I do want to ask this. How did you transition? Okay, so you were a student, then you went to work at a makeup counter, and now you're a business owner. So what was that shift for you? When did you think, like, I'm doing this, I'm going to own my own business? What was that shift in your mind for you?
So I have always been a business owner.
Okay.
I've always been an entrepreneur. I started my first business when I was 14.
Oh, wow.
I had a store that was called Totally Popular Trash because in the 90s and 2000s, everything was about raves. And so
Right.
I had all the crap that went with it.
It was like the one-stop shop.
Right.
She
I
sold
like
it
it.
all.
Even had like the tongue rings with the little like fluorescent glow in the dark, whatever it was, ball. So I, when going through college though, and working a 9 to 5, the time, you don't own your time.
You really don't.
Absolutely. not.
And I was doing a lot of freelance work.
Oh, okay.
So either I've either had a business or I've been freelancing, and periodically I've worked for people or companies, and it just didn't bring me joy. It didn't bring me as much joy as it did when I was working for myself and doing my own
Absolutely.
thing. And I was able to leverage my own time, make my own schedule, and work with whomever I wanted to work with.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
You could choose.
I could
Have more
choose. I had
control.
the choice and I had the control.
I like that. Now, working with someone's face and their skin and being an esthetician, Matthew asked a great question offline. And so, Matt, you want to take it over here?
Yeah, I was wondering because I know that there's so many different products that are in women's cosmetics nowadays, especially here in America. And I wanted to know, especially since your face is your largest organ, are there any ingredients that you would tell people or listeners to stay away from that could be detrimental to your face?
Yeah. I would say that probably, well, not probably, it's been tested. So fragrances on the face are more than likely not a good thing. I feel like fragrances, if you see fragrant on there, that is going to prematurely age you.
Okay.
Because it's essentially an alcohol.
Right.
I can't have that. I need this baby face.
And then there's parabens, and it's not just for men. I mean, or just for women. It's for men too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, men need to take care of their skin as well. So that way there's no, melanoma or things like that. So, I mean, using a sunscreen is obviously something that is beneficial to men and women.
Nice.
And men, make sure you put it on your ears, because if you wear a hat, your
That's
ears are
true,
still
huh?
exposed.
Yeah.
So, and I can't tell you how many times I have seen in my career, and also working in cancer centers. There's a lot of men that get cancer around their ears,
Oh wow.
wow.
because they just don't,
don't
realize.
know.
They don't realize. So parabens, fragrances, and mineral oil, like petroleum-based.
Oh man, and I
Products.
feel like I see that. on
Keyword
everything.
in that is petroleum. That's
Well, and mineral oil.
And
I feel
mineral
like I see that
oil.
almost in every lotion you can think of.
It's a
Right.
filler. It's a filler. So, that expensive bottle that you bought from, one of the department store counters that's, a shishi product. It's a lot of it is filled with filler, which is mineral oil or,
Oh man.
other
Yeah.
nasties.
I'm over here looking like Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom's. I need my money back.
You know, that's the misnomer, right? That people think because they purchased it at a high-end store that it's a higher quality.
Absolutely.
It's a higher price.
And that's not always the situation. That's
Right.
not always the situation. And I'm really truly glad that people are becoming more aware of what is in their products and not just what they're putting in their body.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a major point right there. Now, are there any? And here's where there could be some you know how there's these myths out there. So I'd like to ask from an esthetician's perspective, is there a difference between Caucasian skin and skin of color? Is there any difference between our skins?
Yeah, there are some differences, but at the end of in that there's more collagen that's made in African American skin or African descended or heritage skin. So, and that's why sometimes you'll see someone who might have keloids
Right.
from scarring.
That's
we
me.
just overproduce collagen.
Collagen.
However, skin is skin is skin.
Right.
And like Matt said, it's the largest organ in the entire body.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, hydrate, hydrate. I cannot stress that enough. Like, if it doesn't matter what color you are under the sun, you need to hydrate. If you are oily, you need to hydrate.
Right.
Because majority of the time, it's not that you're oily, it's that your body's overcompensating for the fact that you've stripped it dry.
Okay.
Because you're either using bar soap, men
use yeah.
like to use
Absolutely.
bar soap everywhere. And I'm like, you can't use it everywhere. Your skin is a little more delicate.
Right.
But you need to hydrate too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
See?
Why do you keep looking at me this entire
Because
time?
these are the things that I tell Matthew that he doesn't listen.
I'm
Men
like,
don't
I'm a
listen.
man.
But mama knows best.
I tell LaDawn too. He doesn't listen.
No, it's
Q
kinda
doesn't
like
listen to me.
It's kind of like the old like Peanuts commercials when the adults start sucking. It's like wah 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 wah.
Yeah, these guys that I work with, they don't listen to me, Ashley. So I'm glad since you're the professional and you're on
I'll
with
take your
me
advice,
now.
Ashley, for sure.
See, there we go.
I just need to hear from another source.
Just go to mom's house, steal a couple bottles of whatever's on her countertop, and take it home. You'll be just good.
Exactly.
She uses great product, by the way.
I was gonna say I can probably find it in my car. She's always trying to like secretly stash stuff in there.
There's a whole kit in your trunk that you don't know about.
Yeah, for sure. She's like, this new lotion it just dropped Thursday.
Exactly. Now, I want to get into a little bit more about, the fact that you are an expert in the skin area and makeup and all of that. And you have another business also.
I do.
You've aligned yourself with a company. And I want to talk about that a little bit too, because I think that's very important. You've aligned yourself with a company, and so have I, Arbonne International. And I'd like to know from your perspective, what made you decide to align yourself with that company?
Excellent question. I decided to align myself with Arbonne because of their ingredient policy. They're strict,
Yes, they are.
and I love it.
Yes.
Because at the heart of the company and the heart of their products is to take care of the whole person inside and out. And so anyhow, I worked freelancing, and I also worked with cancer centers, as I was telling you before,
Right.
Both here and on the East Coast. And I don't talk about this much, but I was also a beauty instructor for the American Cancer Society Look Good, Feel Better.
Oh, okay.
And I noticed, and it's not a knock on whoever throws, or donates product and puts them in their bag in those little kits that each patient gets, which I think is lovely. However, I noticed that those who were going through chemo or radiation, they were having reactions to whatever was in the products. Their skin is more sensitive. Their immune system is more sensitive. Everything is heightened, right? So when they were putting these products on, they were either getting a burning sensation, a stinging sensation, and it could be a cream. Like I would put it on and nothing, but for them, it was affecting them. And I said, there has to be something out there. And I went on a search for it. And I dug deeper into my books from aesthetic school, as well as I have a dictionary that has all the products and ingredients that are in products.
Oh, wow.
And I went through it and started really looking at some of the ingredients that were in these products. And I said, you know what? I need to find something better. And when you throw things out, mystical again, but when you throw things out into the universe and you say, I need something, I need it, and it's for the better good, and it's serving not only yourself, but you're serving others, it delivers.
It shows up.
So my business partner, Linda Balaban, God bless her, because she came up to me, talked with me, and she brought up this product, Arbonne. And I was like, okay. I looked into it. She gave me a bunch of products and I fell in love. And I said, this is what I needed. This is exactly what I needed. And then that's when I started.
Yeah. And for me, it was from the other side, from the consumer side, the non-professional side. I grew up having eczema my entire life. And so so my skin has always been challenged. And so
did you pass that on to me?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
All right.
But but my skin was always challenged. And so using bar soaps and things like that, I could never do it. Like I would turn into this alligator,
Oh, gosh.
and so even in my face, so I always would kind of check things out. Like before using the Arbonne products, you would have had to come to my house yesterday, make me up, let me see if I was going to have a reaction before we came in and did it today, right? But with the Arbonne products, I don't have that challenge, and I've been with them for 2.5 years, and I have not used a product that I've had a negative reaction to. And for me, that's just phenomenal. I've not had that before. And of course, it goes back to the ingredient policy. So to talk to a professional esthetician who align themselves with the company too for that same reason, but on the knowledge side of it versus I'm looking for something that's not gonna, turn me into an alligator. It's refreshing to know that, right?
Yes. And you do have amazing skin, by the way.
Oh, thank you, darling.
I think the first time I met you, I was like, oh my God, am I really putting makeup on this woman? Because she needs not a drop. Like, your
you know
skin
what?
is immaculate.
Well, thank you, but it comes from finding products and trial and error. And I always say this: I wish when I started with Arbonne, I would have taken before pictures because my skin does not look the same now as it did then.
And does it feel differently? That's
it
the key
feels
too.
different, and it not only looks different, it feels different. It's softer, it's more supple, so the whole thing is just amazing.
So you're feeling very glamorous.
Absolutely. And I'm a woman of a certain age,
That will be undisclosed.
No, I'm 60.
Oh. That's always like when you're in fire territory right there. I try to always Euro step around a woman's age.
No, I don't care. I feel privileged to have lived this long. So I'm just like every year I say the next year. Right. So,
Absolutely.
but when you're a woman of a certain age, things start to happen.
But you honestly, when looking and working with your skin, you have the skin of like a 40-year-old woman.
Wow. See, I'm 20 years ahead of myself, Matthew. Don't you start over there.
They gotta start in the card you to get a drink, Char.
I love that. I'm waiting with my driver's license and ask me. Now, Ashley, you've been you're located in Orange County,
Yes.
right? And you have and the other thing I'd like to say about Ashley before we go any further is that Ashley will travel. Of course, you have to pay to travel, but she does weddings.
I do.
And just tell them what you do, so I'm not talking for you.
So being an esthetician, I am a makeup artist and a lash artist. I've been doing makeup and lashes for over a decade. It's 14 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been a long time, but I love what I do. I lash all week long. Mm-hmm. That is the majority of my business. And on the weekends, I have the privilege of doing makeup for weddings.
Right.
And then I also do hair and makeup for a lot of the award shows.
Yeah.
So for the attendees to Oscars, Emmys, Grammys, those kinds of things.
Now, for me, how was the experience of you doing weddings? Because I'm not sure, but I feel like it's a different process since you have to do it for so many different women, especially bridesmaids, to make sure that they all look palatable for the wedding versus just individual women. So how was your experience with that?
Pretty good. I mean,
you have to follow a theme, right?
yeah. I mean, but look, girls like lashes. So
Right.
you throw, no, I'm kidding. No, but they really do. They love lashes. So like if you do like a really nice lash and you give them a really nice, lip color, they're pretty happy. But I do a lot of airbrush makeup too, because the point is they want to look flawless,
Right.
and you get that flawless finish when you use airbrush. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much what I do. So it's kind of the same thing every time, just maybe a different blush color or a different eye shadow color. Yeah.
Now, how does it work as far as piggybacking off of that? Like when women are choosing like dresses for like color combinations when it's for the bridesmaids, like for you, like let's say if it's like if you were going with like the theme was blue, would you typically pick out like a certain amount of like colors that you feel like would be palatable for that versus like red or if they're gold or anything?
I bring my whole kit.
Okay.
So, and I never know. A lot of times I don't know what the theme or the color scheme or any of that is.
Oh, so it's just like showtime.
It's a surprise every time. And so, yeah, it's just talking with the client, asking them, what their style is. Do they typically wear makeup? What do they feel comfortable in? And not only that, and most importantly, what feature do you find on yourself most attractive? And when they tell me that, then I'm like, I'm playing that up today because I want you to feel beautiful. I know that you're like the sideline girl, like down the line with all the other girls, but you are going to be in all the pictures
Right.
Absolutely.
with the bride.
Right.
So you have to look good and feel fabulous too.
Absolutely.
So
No,
they
that's
pretty
dope.
much get the same attention that a bride would get because,
As
at
they
the
would
end of
definitely
the
want for sure, especially if it comes to
Right.
like picture time.
Right,
everybody wants to
because
make sure
no
they look
no bride wants her bridesmaids looking haggard and sad and miserable in
Right.
in any of her photos.
absolutely.
Right.
'cause that's
Everyone
when you
needs
get
to feel
cropped out.
beautiful and like
Yeah.
a princess. Yeah. That's the thing with women. Yeah.
It's so like interesting to me though, like the topic of eyelashes though, because I do feel like that's something that's really huge with women. Like women love eyelashes.
We do love
For
eyelashes.
years, I mean, ever since I was a child, women would come up to me and be like, "Oh my goodness," and be like touching, my eyeballs and everything. Like, you have beautiful eyelashes. I never understood what it is.
Because women don't usually have such long eyelashes too.
And the boys always get them.
And the boys get them for
they
some
get
reason.
long, full,
Right. Eyelashes. And
luscious lashes.
Does
Yeah.
it make
Naturally.
your eyes pop more or something?
Yes.
Yes, it
I
does.
just okay because it's
Yeah.
always just like, oh, all right, God gave them to me.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
you.
They do. And so we are jealous, Matthew. So as you sit over there with your eyelashes.
Okay, that's when you're gonna have to put in God's gift with the beautiful eyelashes.
This is Charline. And that's Matthew over there acting silly.
God's gift.
And this is Lunch with the Finance Bunch on Dash Talk Radio. And Ashley, we'll be right back. And we want to ask you some silly questions.
Okay.
We're going to come back with our balance sheet. We'll be right back. And we're back in the studio with Ashley. This is Charline and Matthew on Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Let's do this.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So we're going into the balance sheet right now.
Yes.
So you don't have to disclose the amount, but what was your most memorable paycheck that you've earned during the course of this?
My first paycheck,
Absolutely.
because that's what helped build my kit.
Oh,
So,
okay, nice, dope.
yeah.
You were like, what? I can get paid this much for this? Sign me up.
So what is one purchase you've made that you just regret?
I don't have any.
Oh,
Really?
I don't. Because
She's just like me.
life is life, and there's always a lesson. So I don't have any regrets.
I like that attitude. I have many purchase regrets.
And I always say nothing.
But I've had anxiety after making a purchase. That's different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah.
But you love all your purchases. Okay. What does success mean to you?
Success means to me doing what you're passionate about and it bringing you joy
Yeah.
and being able to sustain a lifestyle doing exactly those things.
Absolutely.
That's the right answer.
That's how I feel like it is for me.
Right.
Now, I like to skip past a couple of questions and bounce those to Shar because I like the most interesting question I feel like we have on the balance sheet, which is, if you were to win the lottery right now, let me scoot next to you because we're all friends here.
Oh, yeah. In case she wants to share with us.
How are you spending the money?
Aside from giving Matthew and I money.
First. So what would you do second?
I would pay off my debt, which is small, and then put 20% of it would be investing, and then just on those returns keep reinvesting.
Oh, nice.
And then the other chunk of it, I don't know, maybe play.
That sounds like fun.
Or
Any
maybe go back to
vacations?
school, actually. I would probably go back to school and get a degree just to say I did it.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. Now, what is Ashley going to be doing in 5 years? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I would love to have a second location opening.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's
Expansion,
nice.
expansion.
Heck yeah. So now, Ashley, at the location you're at now, tell us how we can get in contact with you, your Instagram, all those things, because I know people are going to want you to come out, do their makeup or come to your studio and have a session with you.
Great question.
And the lashes.
And the lashes too. Yeah, I can be found at ashleyoboyle.com. They can check me out there and find all my information. They can also book themselves an appointment there as well.
Okay.
Instagram, I am Ashley O'Boyle, and the studio is the Classy Dame Parlor.
Yeah, I like that. The Classy Dame
I
Parlor.
absolutely like that. Thank you so much for being on our
Thank
show
you
today.
for
We had
having
such
me.
an amazing time
Heck
with you today.
yeah.
We definitely learned a whole lot. I know how to make my skin glow and be popping now.
And I want to thank you, Ashley, for helping me with the gentlemen in my life who don't listen to me about their skin.
All right, can we cut now?
So that I'll have a conversation with you guys after. This is Charline.
And this is God's Gift, Matthew,
And we're on Lunch with the Finance Bunch
on Dash Talk Radio. Make sure you join in with us at noon
on Tuesdays.
on Tuesdays.
And follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all of that at the Finance Bunch.
Yes, indeed.
And watch our YouTube videos, Matthew.
Watch them all, especially for me.
Wow.
We'll see you guys next week.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Lunch with the Finance Bunch. I'm your host, Miss Charline, on Dash Talk Radio.
Tuesdays at noon. I'm God's Gift.